This is Insight UTG.
Insight UTG.
This is a program that highlights activities of students of the University of The Gambia. It will feature discussions on cross-cutting national issues.
This program will feature different exciting segments.
Welcome to yet another exciting edition of the Art Box and Inside UTG. We are Mbulawa champion, no. Champion Mbulawa. Champion, What? This and much more will be coming your way in this segment.
We are not future leaders of this country. We are the leaders of today.
Insight UTG on GRTS.
It's a warm welcome to another exciting edition of the Inside UTG. I am your host, Musa Balde.
This is Insight UTG.
Insight UTG.
On today's show, we'll begin with the Art Box, where Asan Job, aka Bugatabi, had a palafong session with Bekai Suso, a renowned artist from the Suso Kunda family in Sukuta and also a University of the Gambia student. Let's see what they have for us. Voila! Yes! Welcome to yet another exciting edition, another balaphorical, another musical, another gyriodical, another comedical edition of the Art Box and Inside UTG. I am really happy. Take my contact. Just learn from a full late. Yes. And today we have Bekai Suso. When we say Suso, we all know from the Griot family. Kudiga Suso nak hamne lol holal. I'm not next to Ganao, ma. Bekai is a UTG student studying accountancy and he's in his third year, second semester come January. And we're pleased to have Bekai today on the Art Box. Moro. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
When we say Bekai Suso, where is Bekai from?
Thank you very much, Hassan. I think where Bekai is from should not be something that should be hidden to people.
Tell us.
Because I believe people have been seeing what Bekai has been doing, and that alone should tell you where Bekai is from. Basically, I am from Sukuta, but originally from Wulifode Kunda. My father is Maudo Suso. My mother's name is Fune Kuyate.
MashaAllah. Jali.
And my mother's co-wife is Jali Kumba Sakiliba.
So you are Jali from both ends.
Indeed, this is what Jali is called Jame, Nyame. So I am indeed Jali from both ends, both paternal and maternal.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
But originally we are from Wuli Fodekunda.
It's exciting to see you play the balafon. And I also know that you also play another instrument. Tell us the instruments that you can play.
I can play this. I think this one more. Should I say it? Should I say that I can play balafon?
No. It's clear. We've seen the balafon.
I can play kora as well. We are basically, as of now, these are the two instruments that I play, and I'm also a vocalist. I sing.
For the style. Because pendi mola. Ha. Ene kilo fanan lade. Nana UTG mol jam. Kodi. Ha. Esa.
Iye jalia ala lega jalia da.
Esa.
Iye jalia ala lega jalia da. Ala minga jalia da. Wole nata mansa yada. Ala menga jali yada, wole nata banna yada. Gambia alinyona ne Gambia, Senegambia alinyo mutaku Gambia.
Jadi itu nyala.
Fuloni mandingkolu yenyona ne Gambia, sarahulol ninsuruwali yenyo mutaku Gambia.
Dari saya kayak nala ni kata event sama nyola. Karena nefana kono ni make la scale of preference. Ndeke la awulati doro.
Kodi
Ngada. Abe wogla. Aha.
serereli akuli yenyo mutaku Gambia, suruwali manjago yenyo nane Gambia.
Baraka. Dali, masa, mampa muda nore. Boy. Get back to your culture. Very, very important. Baraka. Thank you so much. This is all that time has allowed us today on your Art Box segment. Join us next week. That was an exciting session there, and this is just one of many exciting talents we have in the University of The Gambia, and in this show we would be having many of them. Well, this semester is such a difficult period for students of the University of The Gambia, and because of the assignments, the classes, and the examinations. At the end of last semester, our reporters on the Vox Pop caught up with some students to get their opinion and experience of the previous semester. Let's take a listen.
Gentlemen, what's your name?
My name is Sankule Gabriel Janko.
Sankule, what do you study?
I'm studying journalism at the University of The Gambia.
Journalism. Third year. Sankule, how would you describe this semester?
Semester, frankly, my description of the semester would be short, really short. That's how I'll describe the semester. Not enough time that I would have loved to do some of the things and go into details into, the courses. So I would describe the semester as precisely very short.
Do you have a best moment for this semester?
Probably, I think I do. And one of the courses, one of the days like when we had elements of digital media with Mr. Kandai, that was really fun. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I've learned new things about technology and I found really that fun. So for this semester, I think that will probably be my best moment.
Wow. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
What's your name?
I'm Omar Saibo Kamara.
Omar Saibo Kamara. What do you study?
I'm studying political science.
Political science, wow. Omar, how would you describe this semester?
Quite a good one, though a hectic semester. Personally, for me, I have been engaging in a lot of activities as a student leader and an activist, and it has been a good semester, but a hectic one. I have been involved in a lot of activities, but still have to synchronize it with my studies, with my classes. It's quite a hectic one, but I enjoy this semester because it's the fourth semester of the academic year. You have a lot of activities going in, and here you have new students that you need to counsel and guide, but still you have to be making up to your classes and studies, and it has been quite a good semester, but a hectic one. So.
Mariama, do you have best moment in this semester?
Yes, I have best moments in the school, irrespective of whatever happened. And that was the Student Congress.
Would you please tell us why?
I think it's one of the biggest places where students have the voice to question the people that they vote in office. That is the student union. So it was a day that was set aside so we students can question the authorities. We look into the challenges, how far we've gone, and the policies that they made and what is missing. So we as students were able to scrutinize them, and then we talk about issues that were affecting us. And I think I so much believe in social justice, and I believe that was my best moment ever in the university, especially for this semester.
I hope they were questioned.
Yes, they were highly questioned. They talk about their challenges. They have success stories. And then we are looking forward to the other congress so we know how far they've gone in the next semester as well.
Abdullah Singate, how are you?
I'm fine, gentlemen. How are you?
How are you doing, Abdullah?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Abdullah, how would you describe this semester?
It's been an interesting semester, though a bit hectic. Knowing that the semester is a very short one, not compared to the January one. A lot of things happens, a lot of things that you need to make sure that to complete this semester. So it's not easy.
Abdullah, do you have best moment in this semester?
Best moments are very difficult to explain. But anyway, very interesting moments, I can say. From the beginning of the enrollment, the day of orientation was a very amazing day, having new students to come in. Being part of the union, these are some of the things that are really interesting moments. And also, there was a period in September where we had a robust, administrative engagement on some of the, very pertinent issues that are affecting the students, especially when it comes to the facilities. This I can really remember in September and also during the orientation of the new students.
How about worst moment?
Worst moments is the issue of extending deadlines of registration. This is something that that is very difficult period for the council because students have issues when it comes to late payment of their scholarships. Some have very difficult financial constraints to pay their fees. So most of the time it's very difficult.
And here's another student. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm doing good.
What's your name?
Tony F. Mendy.
Tony, how would you describe this semester?
A very tough one, but yet beautiful. Yeah.
Tony, do you have worst moment for this semester?
Worst moment, not actually one yet. I only decide I will have worst moment this semester when the results are out. So not yet. Don't have one.
How about best moments? What was your best moment for this semester?
I think I enjoy one particular course this semester than any other. So I think the lecturer performed good and everything was nice all about the semester. So anytime I come to class, I supposed to have that course, I'm always glad. So that course, I think I can take it as one of the best moments I have in the university since I came in.
That was Musa Fadia on the Vox Pop segment of the Insight UTG. Moving on, last year, a delegation of University of The Gambia students attended the All Africa Students and Youth Summit in Kigali. Well, upon their arrival in the Gambia, on the Bantaba segment, Claire Demba sat with them to share their experiences and thoughts on major issues in relation to Africa and the Gambia in general. Let's go to the Bantaba.
And we welcome you to the first edition of the UTG Bantaba here on GRTS. My name is Claire Demba, and today with me I have 5 gentlemen who recently represented the University of The Gambia at the Africa Student and Youth Summit in Rwanda, Kigali. And before then, I know students have so many questions that they would like this gentleman to answer. And of course, this is the UTG Bantaba, and I'm sure all your doubts are going to be cleared on this platform. Before then, I would like my guests to introduce themselves, and I would like to start with the gentleman on my far right.
My name is Musa Balde. I am the Information and Communication Minister of the University of the Gambia Students Union. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
I am Lalo Bajo. I am the Vice President of the University of the Gambia Students Union. And of course, it's a great time to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf Amboub. I am the Deputy Finance Minister of the University of the Gambia Students Union. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
Hello viewers, my name is Mustafa Sonko, Secretary General, University of the Gambia Students Union. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
Hello viewers, I am Musa Baji, the Education and Research Minister of the University of the Gambia Students Union. Indeed, I'm glad to be here.
Gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to this UTG Bantaba segment. To start with you, Mr. Vice President, I know you guys had a lot of experiences in Kigali, but can you kindly describe to us how your experience was?
Thank you so much for that beautiful question. The first thing that impressed me most is, of course, the unity that I found in that country amongst the people of Rwanda was, of course, amazing. Before actually our trip, people told me that Kigali, of course, Rwanda is a very clean city. Well, I would like to add the word cleanest, because to me it is the cleanest city in Africa. Yeah, you will move, since our trip, we moved from the airport to our own residence. But I was peeping throughout, there wasn't any sight of a rubbish on the streets. So every place was perfectly clean. That is, of course, one of the greatest things that I have experienced from that country.
For me, there are so many things that we really experience, beautiful things in Rwanda. But one thing that stands out is what they call umuganda. You know, umuganda is something that happens every last Saturday of a month. And what happens is that all these communities come together and they work, they do buildings, voluntary service. And each Rwandan that is above 18 legally has to be there doing community work. What they do with these buildings is that they look at the poorest and the displaced population, and then they give them these buildings free of charge with Wi-Fi and modern facilities. And I think this is something that all African countries can really learn. So that really stands out for me in Rwanda.
All right, thank you so much. The people of Rwanda, when it comes to politics, indeed, I was amazed with what I saw. Because politics in Africa used to be a warm-up game for violence. But this is the opposite of what is happening in Rwanda. I was even thinking that during politics, there will be a lot of war, a lot of fight between the electorates. But what I was told about these Rwandans was that politics in Rwanda, the day of election, is actually a day of celebration. Some of them even call it a wedding ceremony. And then in politics, I believe we have a lot to emulate from the people of Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Demba. But what impressed me most and the experience that I have from Rwanda is the infrastructure, how they regain from the destruction of the genocide and where they are today. I was so impressed with the infrastructure of Rwanda. I was so amazed. I was even asking my people, I hope the pilot or the flight did not drop us in another city, because this is not the Rwanda that I read on the books and also that I read in the internet. So I was so impressed by the infrastructure. The other thing that I was so impressed is the economy, because I had a slogan there that is, they used to say, grow what you eat. They say Rwandans, almost 50 or 60% of what they eat is being grown in Rwanda. So I was so impressed by that. They also have another slogan called, that is, you have to wear what you made. So they used to say whatever they wear, most of them is made in Rwanda. I was so impressed by that.
Thank you very much, Madam Demba. My colleagues have spoken well. Rwanda is a city that is extremely beautiful. Rwanda is a city that when you go there, you feel extremely impressive. If you can remember, in 1994, a country that has underwent genocide and over 1 million people were killed, but today is one of the most impressive nations in Africa. My brothers even have talked about it. The infrastructure, the economy is booming. People are respecting their culture, and in Rwanda as well, culture is something that is embraced. But what stood out for me when I visited Rwanda was the peace and unity that they have, and the educational system also is one of the most impressive that I think counts me on my side as the Education and Research Minister, because they give more attention to vocational education. They have universities that train people on how to become electricians. They have universities that train people on how to become plumbers and other stuff. You have a degree in plumbing, and they respect it very well because they respect what is Rwandan. In the Gambia, people may say we respect things that comes out, but in Rwanda, when you go there, it's a different perspective. If you are Rwandan, they give more priority to you than something that is important to Rwanda. And I think this is a thing that I learned from a lot.
Now let's talk about the theme for this year. Mr. Secretary General, the theme for this year revolves around Pan-Africanism. I would like to know how important you think this theme is when we look at Africa as a whole.
Thank you so much, Ms. Demba. This year's theme is, of course, very, very important. The main theme for this year's annual summit is Pan-Africanism, a paradigm shift towards achieving sustainable development goals, and then AU Agenda 2063, the role of youth counts. When Ghana became independent in 1957, Kwame Nkrumah said, "The independence of Ghana is meaningless until it is linked with the total liberation of Africa." Africa has failed woefully for the past 50 years. There is no independence in Africa because there is still neocolonialism that is going on. So this has prompted the African leaders to come up with this specific theme that before 2063, Africa will slowly realize its potential. The role of youth counts. Every now and then, what they told the youths of Africa is, you people are the future leaders of your country. We the youths are saying that we are not future leaders of this country. We are the leaders of today, because tomorrow will not come. We have been saying it. I will just relate it to you with what John F. Kennedy said. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And Africa cannot and will never fail for the next 50 years. Because if we fail, then it means generation yet unborn will never forgive the youths of Africa.
That was indeed a very strong point from Paragon. And now to you, Mr. IPRO. I know you've attended a whole lot of sessions, but I want to know which session do you think really impacted you the most?
Thank you, Ms. Demba. I attended a session along with my colleagues, which was looking at quality and inclusive education for all in Africa. And for so long, from independence to date, our education system has been that which has, made us basically to be clerksmen, and it hasn't really, reflected the needs of our various African countries. For example, you would graduate from high school, and the only skills you have is basically to read and write, and this has not addressed our needs. And I think, for Africa to develop, we have to look at, science and technology. We have to look at, vocational and technical trainings. These are the things that, are going to advance our economies instead of, the education system that we have. And for example, in the Gambia, it's a case in point. You could look at the massive and, woeful failure in our WAS examination results. And this is a clear reflection that the fact that the education system is not really serving its purpose. And that session was really nice, and we had some people from Zambia and other countries to deliberate on the issue. So it was a very good session for me.
Indeed, that was one thing that we all should learn from. And now to you, Education and Research Minister, how optimistic are you about the notion of one Africa, one people?
Thank you very much. That's indeed an awesome question. One Africa, one people is achievable, and it is indeed possible. There are so many factors that may lead to its success. Now, basically, if we stop thinking about us as Gambians, as Senegalese, and see ourselves as brothers and sisters and people from the same continent, I think we can achieve that. And again, when I was talking during one of the sessions, I said, how come an African in an African country is treated like an alien? White person treated better in an African country than a black man in that African country. I told them, in order for us to achieve as young people the Pan-Africanism that we're talking about, we have to do away with the structures and the geographical boundaries that leads to this. Because I believe the difference in our colonial masters as a result of colonialism. Colonialism is gone. Now we should regard ourselves as one people and move forward as one continent.
That was well said from the Education and Research Minister. And now to you, Mr. Vice President. Like when we look at Rwanda, we know they were affected by the genocide. But now, looking at Rwanda as a whole, we know they are one of the most developed countries in Africa. What do you think other African countries should learn from Rwanda, and particularly the Gambia?
There are a lot that Africans can learn from Rwanda, and more especially the Gambia. If you go to Rwanda right now, you ask a person, what is your name? Like myself, for example, if I am from there, you ask me, what is my name? The only thing that I will answer is Lalo, and there isn't any like Bajo. So what they worked on first is to eliminate the issue of tribe. So there isn't anything like tribes in Rwanda. So that is one thing that all African countries should learn from, and more especially the Gambia, to realize that we are all one. There isn't any that divides us. We are one people.
Good leadership counts, as we heard from Lalo Bajo. And now to Paragon. What is your own take on that?
In Rwanda, after the 1994 genocide, the government or the people of Rwanda set a court that they call the Gasasa. In the Gambia, it is called the TRC. Now, looking at the Gasasa, the court, because Gasasa in Rwandan language means a tree that is very soft. So people were having those sessions to settle their own dispute. People come out and then confess the number of people that they kill. When we went to the Kigali Genocide Memorial, we watched some of the videos and we've seen gentlemen coming out and then trying to confess of some of the sins that they have committed, the people that they've killed. And then some people will come out and then say, we have already forgiven you. Now the Gambia could learn a lot from that. Right now the Gambia, our country, is divided, and then now we are coming out with the TRRC. The problem is, are the people, or will the people be willing to come out and then confess? And if they confess, will that confession divide the country, or it will actually bring the country together? So what I advise the people is, let them come and confess, and then when they confess, let the people try to forgive them, and then forget the past. Actually, we cannot actually forget the past, but we should forgive each other, but never forget what had happened, because if you happen to forget what happened, it will repeat itself. But I believe that we should learn a lot from the people of Rwanda. Let us not actually try to bring the European idealism to settle our Gambian differences. Let us do it the Gambian way. Let us organize the Bantabas and then settle our difference, just like the people of Rwanda have done after the 1994 genocide.
We should learn to do our own things in our own Gambian ways. Back to you, Mr. IPRO. What will your attendance at the summit add to the development of the University of the Gambia?
I think one good thing about this summit is that as young leaders, all of us came back very motivated, that we've seen how a country, a small country that has so many similarities with our country, has really advanced. The country needs a lot of changes. And I think all the team is set, and we are beginning with the University of the Gambia. First of all, the cleanliness. We've already called for a meeting. That is the Gambia delegation, including those from the American University, the MDI, and the Gambia College. We're all going to meet, and we're going to discuss on exactly what can we learn from our African brothers, including Rwandans and other countries, that we can do and implement in this country as part of our giving back, because we were all sponsored by our various institutions. So it is expected that when we come back, we're going to impact positively in the country. And I am hopeful that from this meeting, we'll be able to organize so many things, including the Umuganda, which is something similar to the Setsetal, but it's an advanced, version of our Setsetal in the Gambia. Also, the cleanliness, and we're going to start with the University of the Gambia. We want to be a shining example. We're going to work on the cleansing exercises, which are going to, for a period, I don't know what we're going to agree on, but I can assure you, come 1 year time, come visit the university, and you will easily see the difference.
Well, viewers, this was all we had for you in this segment called the UTG Bantaba. Till then, please do stay with us and enjoy the rest of our programs.
Very interesting thoughts and opinions there from the delegates that returned from the All Africa Students and Youth Summit in Kigali. That's all the time we had for in this edition of the Inside UTG. Do join us next week. Same time, same place. Until then, I was your presenter, Musa Balde.
This is Insight UTG.
Insight UTG.
This is a program that highlights activities of students of the University of the Gambia. It will feature discussions on cross-cutting national issues.
This program will feature different exciting segments.
Welcome to yet another exciting edition of the Art Box on Inside UTG. We are Mulawa champion, no. This and much more will be coming your way in this segment.
We are not future leaders of this country. We are the leaders of today.
Insight UTG on GRTS.